Finding a good surface to play cards on can be difficult. After all, rough surfaces and cracks can easily damage your cards, and even the cleanest looking table can have food or dust on it. The expensive nature of TCGs means that playing in the wrong place could be a costly mistake, so that's where Playmats come in. A Playmat's primary purpose is to provide you with a clean, smooth surface that you can use just about anywhere. A good playmat that's kept clean can add many years onto the life of both your cards and your sleeves. Now, over the years, we've seen many different types of playmats, but which one is right for you? Well, let's find out. Paper playmats are some of the most common you'll find, but outside of beginners, you usually don't see too many people using them. These are often found in starter kits, and usually have the games board printed on them along with a few rules reminders. Unfortunately, these mats offer little to nothing in terms of protection for your cards. They tear easily and will never fold completely flat, no matter how hard you try. And since they're made of paper, they also have no traction and will move everywhere while you're playing. These are fine to use when you're still learning, but just make sure you put them on a flat surface and that you're comfortable with any cards or sleeves you put on them getting absolutely destroyed. These Yu-Gi-Oh! Game board mats are some of the most unique playmats I've ever seen, and I do not mean that in a good way. These hard foldable mats look cool and are pretty cheap, but they also exemplify everything that a playmat should not be. They're large, delicate, they slide all over the place, and they are impossible to clean. However, their greatest sin is just how easily they can damage your cards. They have 3 big dips where they fold, and if you're not careful, your cards can get caught on them and get damaged. You can get these for around $10 or less, but please, for the love of God, don't! Alright, enough with the crap. Let's look at the good playmats. Khalsa Spellground mats were some of the first playmats ever made. These playmats came out in the early 90s and soon grew to immense popularity. For a while, they became the playmat of choice for both casual and professional players, and they got the opportunity to collaborate with some big games such as Magic the Gathering. The mats themselves were made out of a microfiber cloth. This gave them a unique surface feel and made them some of the most compact playmats I have ever seen. Khalsa is actually still around today, making their Spellground playmats, and while many other companies have tried to make mats in this style, Khalsa's commitment to quality and rich history have kept them the best of the best. If you're interested in getting a mat from them, I'll leave a link in the description. Keep in mind though, they're not always available. They only release their mats in limited batches nowadays, and they're also a bit pricey. If you want a traditional 2-player mat, you're going to have to pay around $50 to $75, although they do now have single-player versions available for cheaper. Now, before we get to the final entry on this list, if you have the time and the skills, you can try making your own playmat. Matter of fact, if you go onto YouTube, you can find various people putting hundreds of hours into doing just that. People have done some incredible stuff, taking the simple concept of a playmat and turning it into a complex work of art. However, for most people, the simplest solution really is the best. Just a cloth playmat with a rubber backing. These things are amazing. The rubber grips the table to keep the mat from moving, while the cloth top allows you to easily slide your cards around without damage. While you can't fold them, you can roll them into an extremely compact tube, making them easy to transport. They're also super easy to clean, with most manufacturers allowing you just to throw them in a washing machine on cold water and gentle cycle. And when you can't machine dry them, you can just throw them over a chair, table, or whatever surface you got, and they dry pretty quickly. But the best part about these is just how customizable they are. It's very easy to put full color images of whatever designs you want on them, and you'll find that many companies and artists have done just that. But if none of their stuff suits your fancy, companies like Ink Gaming will let you take whatever image you want and put it on your own playmat. I think the only complaint I have for this style of mats is that the edges can begin fraying slightly over time. I've never seen it get too bad though. For example, these are mats that I've been using for years, and they still look pretty good. If this is a big issue for you though, you can always get a playmat with stitched edges. This will solve the problem completely, but just make sure the lips on the playmat are small enough that your cards won't snag on them. Now, there are a lot of different companies that make this style of playmat, but the two I recommend the most are Ultra Pro and Ink Gaming. These companies have been making playmats like this for years, and their quality is far above the competition. They're durable, flexible, and they do a great job holding up over time. You'll never see these curling or their art fading. These companies also give you the best variety in terms of art. UltraPro has contracts with many of the biggest game publishers, allowing them to put official art on their mats from games such as Pokemon, Vanguard, and Magic the Gathering, while Inked has a great relationship with the indie art community, allowing their art to be put on there, as well as allowing you to make your own custom playmats. So, there you have it. A few more options for your next playmat. Let me know in the comments which one you like, and let me know if there's any that I forgot about. But, as for me, I think I'm done with playmats for a little while. After all, I have so many, there can't be any more out there that I could possibly want. I need it.